Only by frozen memories. Right, so welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast with your host, Timmy25. That's me, guys. That's me. I'm Timmy25, and welcome back to another week of podcasting. That's right. So, if you guys didn't know, we are literally here with your boy Denny's, also known as Hunter Wright over at Discord. Keeps changing his name on a week-to-week basis. Also known as DY Plays YT over at youtube.com. He's joining us today as the guest in today's show. It's an early one, guys. It's an early one, I know. But I'm thinking maybe some people might like the fact that I do it early. Some people might like it that I do it late. I don't know. If you guys want to be a guest on the show, all you have to do is join the Discord chat and just let me know in the chat down below that you want to be part of the guest lineup, and I can put you as a guest on Friday's podcast. That's coming up this Friday. So be sure to jump in nice and early so I know who wants to be a guest on the show, because we don't normally have more than 2 to 3 guests at the most. I don't normally like having more than 1, to be honest, but sometimes we do have 2, and sometimes we do have 3, but because that makes a big crowd sometimes, too many people talking at the same time. Yeah, before we begin, obviously I've got to do a shout out to everybody for joining us today on the podcast. Massive shout out goes out to you, obviously, DY Plays YT over at youtube.com. First comment, first view, and the first like, everyone. That's right, he smashes in that door and claims his crown back from whoever the fuck it was yesterday. I think it was Brian. So he claims it back. Also, Brian jumping in second place with the second view, with the second like, and the second comment. Welcome to you too, Mr. Brian Lloyd. Over at twitch.tv, we've got the infamous Electric Skateboard maintaining his strategic play of claiming his crown and keeping his crown. He's over there over at twitch.tv. And also we've got Commander Root and Vera, a brand spanking new person who just sent me a friend request today on twitch.tv, has just started following the stream. Enjoy those pretty 5 beards very, very soon. You'll be up to the big numbers as everybody else seems to be. We've also got Racket Raccoon, triple sound, lol. Triple sound? What does that even mean? Is that triple sound? There shouldn't be triple sound. There's no triple sound coming from my box, so I don't know where you're hearing the triple sound from. Maybe you're watching me on your tablet, your phone, and your TV. Maybe that's where the triple sound's coming from. I'm not 100%. Anyway, also, big shout out to the sponsors, as always, City Keys, Cinch Gaming, and not forgetting those infamous people over at Razor.com. And not forgetting the T4 Army merch people. If you guys want to grab yourself something awesome for the summertime, make yourself look cool in front of the peeps, grab yourself something from the store. We got awesome designs, awesome new stuff coming out for you guys very soon. Also, we've got G2A.com over at Twitch.tv. And not forgetting Streamlabs and G4G, keeping those donations streamlined and fast track straight to my bank account. Thank you very much. Also, we don't have it on this screen, which I really should put it on here. We have got a donations goal. We're at £125 at the moment. Brian Lloyd being the last person to donate a massive $5 to the channel. Thank you very much, Brian. So if you want to donate, G4G and Streamlabs is the only way. Sorry, it's just really, really hot in the studio. I'm sweating like a bitch over here. Right, anyway, so we got Denny's Yassizi, everybody. Let me just get him into the podcast. What up, Denny's? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can say something now.
I'm not Denny's, for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah, what's your name? Hunter Riot. Sorry, Hunt Riot. What's your real name, though?
My name's Ivan, but my friends call me Ivy.
Ivy, everybody. Ivy. You've got exactly the same. Oh, it looks like the same picture as Denny's. Okay. Ivy, completely different person. It's not Denny's Jacizi, everybody. Your device is fucked up. What the fuck? I'm not in the podcast. Don't worry. I've just realized you two, your friggin' logo
You've
is
been deceived.
very similar.
You've
Very
been
similar.
deceived.
Very similar. That's not me, lol. I was about to say, because, literally, the last time I spoke to Denny's was 14, and his voice is on the verge of cracking, and he sounds like, that when he screams, he screams with that strange peak, and this, obviously, IV, it sounds like his voice is completely broken, and I'm just like,
Kidding me right
interesting.
now, Brooke?
So, yeah. So, anyway, that was interesting. So, Ivy's brand new, everyone. He's new. He's never done the podcast with me before. So, welcome. Hopefully, we'll have an interesting conversation about these various topics for you guys today. So, anyway, in terms of topics, we've got some interesting stories for you guys to get involved with today. We have got the lineup of Chris Pratt. If you guys don't know who Chris Pratt is, he was part of the Jurassic World franchise and also played as Passenger with Jennifer Lawrence. And the controversy is around pay. That's right, equal pay is on subject for today. Also, we're going to be talking about Palestine, everybody. That's right, Palestine. The US has declared that that Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine, of Israel, and the Palestinians aren't very happy about it, opening up a US embassy right there as well. Also, we're going to talk about Ali A. PewDiePie roasting the shit out of Ali A, and literally the biggest Fortnite clickbait motherfucker, Ali A. We're going to be talking all about him today, and also not forgetting Mr. Thomas Markle. If you don't know who Thomas Markle is, that's the father of Meghan Markle, who recently married Prince Harry. So we're going to be talking about those crazy motherfuckers as well. My voice is like a fucking hobo on crack. That's right, Denny's. It sure is. Right, so let's crack on. First story. We're going to be talking about the first story. I'm going to give you a quick little breakdown and then we'll begin. So, why Jennifer Lawrence, $20 million, and Chris Pratt's $12 million passengers payday was a trap? So this was by Scott Mendelson from Forbes, and he says we won't know for a few weeks whether Passengers is a hit, but it's probably not going to be a blockbuster. Sony's ambitious bit of adult skewing counter programming is the kind of thing that once upon a time you would have been an A-level blockbuster. It's $100 million plus project, original sci-fi romance powered entirely by its concept and by the would-be star power of its lead Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. The $36 million and counting 7-day total is below the most optimistic expectations, but not necessarily a death sentence. So the question that's risen from this is Jennifer Lawrence made headlines last year when she signed for the long Geesting project with a whopping $20 million, and Chris Pratt, fresh off Jurassic World, signed up as the male lead for an impressive $12 million. This payday raised the budget for the film and created a new expectations that this would be more than just a studio programmer. But in this day and age, no one is really worth $20 million, and a few are worth $12 million unless he or she are representing a popular franchise character. So the question really that brings it down to is the conversation I really want to have with IV here and with you guys as well who are watching us live, or for those of you who are watching us on playback, is how do they justify? I mean, there's always a massive uproar when a man is paid more than a woman. And then we see this in the movie industry where the woman's getting paid more than the man. No one's really making a fuss about it. You don't see the men getting up in their amongst their thousands to walk down and protest and create banners and talk about the war times or anything like that. they're just like, oh well, congratulations to Jennifer Lawrence. Round of applause, everybody. That's all we see. So the question really I'm trying to pass over in the conversation I'm trying to have is whether is it just because men don't give a shit about this kind of stuff? We're more like, it's good for her. She's making that much money. Chris is still making quite a bit of money. Um, it's just women are the ones that have this issue with when men get paid more for doing the same job, because technically they're doing exactly the same job. Yeah, there's something you could say, the fame aspect. Jennifer Lawrence has a big at the time. Had a much bigger presence, obviously coming off the back of Hunger Games. But should that really change anything? I mean, Chris Pratt did an amazing job in Jurassic World. I personally think was a great film. I enjoyed the film. Hunger Games obviously was a smash, but that's a lot more money, than what Chris was getting. That's like $7 million more. So, I mean, the question I really want to pass off to you, Ivy, is, what is your personal takeaway from this difference in pay? Is there a problem here?
Well, I don't think there's a huge problem because let's face it, Chris Pratt has made a lot of money and he's still making money.
Mm,
And let's face it, he's done so many movies from Jurassic World to being to Passengers to Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's still gonna make a lot of money from Infinity War. So I mean, $4 million in difference, that's not a lot to him. And Jennifer Lawrence again, 60 million compared to 12 million. It's really nothing to him.
but do you not see? I mean, do you not see, like, if this was the opposite, if this was the other way around, if it was Chris Pratt that got 20 million and Jennifer Lawrence got 12, there'd be an uproar. There'd be ladies queuing up in a line to slap Chris Pratt in the face for taking the more money. I mean,
But it also
why?
depends. It also depends
Yeah.
like who the actor is.
Mm,
Big time actor, then he really does not care about that money. But if it's like somewhere around the mid level or the low level, he's gonna complain. If you're a
yeah.
big time actor, money's not a problem to you. You're gonna keep making money because people are gonna want you in more and more movies.
Yeah, I mean, do you find there's that this is just a movie thing? Like, it doesn't reflect on normal working society,
Well,
like in
I
terms of the pay difference.
well, it always depends. There's so many factors. You have the people factor, how someone's gonna react. If someone's getting paid more than you, but
Mm,
you're doing the same job, of course you're gonna complain. But if he's on that top tier level, or if he does more
yeah,
things, then you can't complain.
right. I mean, that's a fair enough point. I mean, the thing is, the kind of point I wanted to get to, in this particular conversation is like, is are men just more receptive to women getting paid more? We don't really have a problem when women are getting paid more, even if we do the same job, because so long we're getting paid a fair share, we're happy with what we're getting paid. Is that what it is?
Well, I think it is. I mean, uh, you just kind of, how do I say this? You feel more confident when you have a woman doing like the same job as you because you know that there are more people you can trust. And the problem is if she's getting paid more and you're doing the same job, it doesn't really matter because you know you're gonna do more stuff than her.
Yeah. Just take this down a bit. I mean, the thing also, I mean, do you think that do you think that I mean, do you think Jennifer Lawrence had an issue with? I mean, do you think she should have got the, because she did receive some backlash from receiving the bigger paycheck and not actually making a fuss about it. Chris Pratt took it on the chin, as you would expect. He didn't really react the way you'd think someone would react. So, I mean, do you think that him taking it on? I mean, do you think Jennifer Lawrence should have got that kind of backlash from people in social media and from the news and stuff like that?
But I don't see a reason why she would have gotten that kind of backlash. I mean, there's no
I
really
mean,
reason.
what they were saying is that because obviously there was some controversy with other movie stars who actually got paid more than their women counterparts, and obviously in the world of film, an actor is an actor. This is how they break it down. You're an actor. You're not doing anything special. It's not like you're having to do extra stunts or extra lines or spending extra days on set. You're doing the same job. So the thing is what there was another controversy with two other actors, where the male actor was getting paid more than the female actress, and there was a big uproar. Like, why is that the case? asked, how can they be having this problem in the movie industry when there's, expenses and there's expendable amount of funds that can be accessed and used, and equal pay shouldn't be an issue in that kind of industry, and so on and so forth. And then obviously with this, it's the opposite. The women have gone quiet, haven't said a word. They've all been like, no one has made any complaints about it, and yet Jennifer Lawrence has received backlash from the social media side, from just the
Just
news
media.
outlets. Yeah, just sort of using that
Oh no,
previous event.
well, that can also be like like it could be a setup. The news people, like, they're just gonna take the smallest thing ever and they're gonna try and
Yeah.
turn it into a big story. That's what they're doing. That's what they've
Mm.
always been doing, just to get more money out of it.
So maybe we could bring this down to, it's just the media bringing up the issue, which no one has an issue with anyway, to create more clickbait. They're trying to be Ali A. Is that what you're saying?
Apparently, yeah.
What's up, Dazed Out? Welcome to the podcast, dude. Right. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to add to this particular story before we move on to the next one?
Well, I don't really have anything just to add, besides the point that it doesn't really matter to anyone, any actor, either Jennifer nor Chris, about
Yeah.
how much they're getting paid. They just don't really care. They want to keep doing what they're doing, and they're still gonna get paid a lot of money because they're just, good actors. There's nothing to
And that's
complain
fair
about.
enough. That is fair enough. If you guys are watching us live, please be sure to drop your comments down below. If you want to join in with the conversation, please keep it topic relevant. Also, if you're watching us on playback, obviously I'd love to read your comments after the podcast is finished. So be sure to drop your comments. Let me know what you're thinking about any of the particular topics that we're going to be talking about today. Moving on swiftly, though, we're getting over to something a little bit more touchy-feely. We're going to be talking about, so obviously, Palestine. Now, Palestine is a massive topic. A lot of people are talking are from very different sides of this particular fence. I don't know where to stand with Palestine. I used to be very on. I used to be on Palestine's side more. I still kind of am, I guess. But I just can't see the beginning or the end of anything. I can see the frustration. For Palestinians, I can see the frustration on Israel's side as well. But I think the sympathy, I think, goes, and the empathy goes on, for me, goes more towards obviously Palestine than over Israel. And this is a story by The Guardian. It says Israeli forces killed dozens of Palestinians in protests as U.S. embassy opens in Jerusalem. As it happens. So, following latest developments, as 52 Palestinians killed and hundreds wounded in protests in Gaza and West Bank over moving U.S. embassy to Jerusalem. So this is there's a little video playback for me to play for you guys. So I'm just going to warn you that this has got graphic images, and some people may find this disturbing. So if you're not happy to watch this part of the podcast, please skip it or mute it or whatever you want to do. But yeah, this bit's it's not that great. So but have a little watch of this. This is interesting. So at least 58 Palestinians have been killed on the day of U.S. opened in Jerusalem.
This is fucked up.
It's the deadliest day in Gaza since 2014. Meanwhile, in the West, Jerusalem, declaration of the U.S. and Israel VIPs unveiled the new embassy. Outside, demonstrators protested the decision. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Your wife, fam?
Okay, I don't know what's happened to the audio. Okay, I will play that video again, and I will actually just talk over what they were saying, because so obviously this bit you can read it; it's on the screen. Let me just as he said in December, his greatest hope is for peace. The United States fully committed to facilitating the lasting peace agreement. That's what Donald Trump just said. Um, so yeah, I mean this was tragic, dude. This was tragic. I mean, this is what's happening on the inside, and then literally simultaneously on the outside, this is what they don't want you to see, I guess, from the media side of things. While presidents before him went down on their place to move the this president delivers to move. When President Trump makes a promise, he keeps it. That's what this guy's saying. The truth is that Jerusalem has been and always been a capital of the Jewish people, the capital of the Jewish state. May the opening of this embassy spread the truth far and wide, and may be the truth advance a lasting peace between Israel and all our neighbors. God bless the United States of America, and God bless Jerusalem. That's what he was saying during that little speech. So yeah, sorry, there's no audio from the video. I don't know why that's happened again. But we won't worry about that for now. We'll move on swiftly. We'll look at the positives. At least I've given you the breakdown of what they're saying during the video. So summary. Israel forces opened fire on demonstrators in Gaza on Monday, killing dozens and injuring more than 2,400 people protesting the Monday opening of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. That is ridiculous. 2,400 people opened fire. I mean, what the hell are they doing? As bodies fell on the border on what became the bloodiest day in Gaza since the 2014 war, U.S. and Israel officials celebrated the opening of the embassy. Demonstrations have quitted, so we're closing down the live blog for now. Here is a summary of today's event. Okay, fine. So Gaza's Ministry of Health reported 52 people were killed and more than 2,400 were injured during protests at the border between Gaza and Israel. There are 6 children and 1 paramedic among the dead, the ministry said. United Nations human rights expert urged Israel to halt excessive force against Palestinian protesters. And Amnesty International accused Israel of violating international law. The Israel Defense Force, IDF, insisted, however, that it was following protocol. The IDF said it killed 3 terrorists and struck 5 terrorist targets. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the military was acting in self-defense. Every country has an obligation to defend itself, its borders, he wrote on Twitter. Senior U.S. officials, including President Donald Trump, have not mentioned the protests in communications celebrating the embassy's opening. Big day for Israel. Congratulations, the president said on Twitter. So it goes on like this. It rolls out. I mean, there is so much. It just continues in this line of fire, as you can clearly tell. There is some small additional bits to add. The Great March of Return movement culminates on Tuesday, the 15th of May, which marks what Palestinians call the Nakba, when hundreds of thousands were forced out of their homes or fled amid the fighting that accompanied the creation in 1948 of the State of Israel after the end of the British Mandate. So they actually sort of not celebrate. That's the wrong word. They kind of like remember this day because this was a day that a lot of families were forced out of their homes in Palestine and were put in well, they were forced out of their homes, and then they created the Israel state that we know today. So I mean, really, the question that I've got to pass on to you guys is what is your personal takeaway in the sense of, do you feel that it's right that the United States of America is able to declare Jerusalem as the capital of Israel? And also, is this not just constant provocation, isn't it? Isn't it just provoking retaliation by creating an embassy in an area which they clearly know the whole world, the rest of the world, does not recognize as the state of Israel? So why provoke something like this to happen? It's only going to create uproar. It's only going to create friction in the area rather than peace, which is what they talk about all the time, peacemakers. So that's the real question I've got to pass off to you guys. So, Mr. IV, what do you think?
Um, Personally, I think the USA shouldn't even be considered between standing between all of these wars on the east. They shouldn't even come there. They should just stay away. They should mind their own business. They
I
should.
mean, the US always claims to be peacemakers. That's what they call it.
But
They say they're sending out the peacemakers.
they
But
try
really
to
they
be
should be calling it.
peacemakers, yet they're creating even more war. That's the
I mean,
biggest problem.
they should really just call it the kill machines, really, isn't it? I mean, that's what they're really sending out. It's it's quite tragic to hear 6 children dying and 1 paramedic. I mean, what the hell did the paramedic do wrong to because they claim it was 2 terrorists. No, sorry, 3 terrorists, and they struck 5 terrorist targets. I mean, 6 children, 3 terrorists. I mean, is that the same thing? Can't be the same thing, surely. How can you class a child as a terrorist? Can you?
Well, I mean, you shouldn't, but you actually can. You actually have people who are like into that shit, women, and they just strap a bomb
Yeah.
to their kid and say, "Go out, go center city, go boom. God will save you now." That's what kills me. That's what makes me like not even want to be interested in it because it's just too disgusting.
It is. I completely get that, and this is where I kind of find it difficult to know which side of the fence to stand on, because it is a very interesting topic, but it is a very controversial topic with the amount of things that go on. What's up, Electric Longboard? Welcome to today's podcast over at Twitch. I mean, you can't say right or wrong here. It's very, very difficult. The thing is, I find that the level of defense that Israel has versus other countries of similar magnitude is way above proportion. The retaliation they're able to do is way above par. The kind of things they get away with, most countries would never ever get away with that. To do that in that, and considering it never used to exist before 1948. That country did not exist, and it only existed after that. And you think from 1948 to 2018, they have literally overtaken the whole country. That's like saying, for example, if you look at the United Kingdom, if for whatever reason, if the Israelis came over here, for example, and started taking over your whole country, I think some people would be pretty pissed off. And people fighting back for their land, I just can't. I just don't know where they stand. I mean, the thing is, the problem I have is the US provoking more turmoil in that area. This is what I don't understand. Why would you do something? I mean, they're trying to lead by example. They're trying to show the world that they believe that this is the state of Israel, but the rest of the world doesn't agree. So why do something which the rest of the world already sees as a wrong thing anyway? I don't understand.
Well, there's
What do
only
you think?
one thing. There's only one thing that the U.S. and literally someone, if not the U.S., some big ass country would come in, and that's because money. They're selling them guns. They're selling them weapons, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
profiting
I
off.
mean, the thing, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, but war is not non-profit. Okay, war makes a lot of money through the only loss that there is human life, which for people who are into war is expendable. It is not something which they're trying to retain. Peace means no one has a job in the military, no one has a job in the arms industry. So they need war. War is required for them to make money, and these guys are fucking rich.
Well, I mean,
In a
it's
lot of
Donald
countries,
Trump. It's Donald Trump. Why? I mean, he cannot be
yeah,
not rich. He's
yeah.
just
I
trying
mean,
to
the
make
thing is,
him.
exactly. I mean, the thing is, in a lot of these a lot of powerful countries, they do like to um they like the idea of war, especially powerful and rich countries, especially, and I always say this, service-based countries. So countries that don't actually produce anything themselves for their livelihood. Like you might find some countries, they will make, material. They'll make, they might
Yeah,
grow
I guess. I
food,
guess.
and they cultivate or whatever. So they have a source of looking after themselves. But countries that provide services, so for example, countries that
Serbia.
only have McDonald's or only have a Burger King or a Pizza Hut, or they only have a Subway or a Costa, or
Yeah, I don't have
or a
any.
Starbucks. So
I,
these kind of countries, they don't have money coming from these natural resources. They only have money coming in from people. Literally, you get paid from a job that is a service based job, and you spend it in another place that's service based. I mean, the UK is the biggest country that's like that. I mean, I know that because of I live here, so I know, like, everybody that works in the UK, they don't actually do a job. They just do a service. It's like, someone's paving the road. That's a service. And who pays for that service? The people who have a home, because we pay taxes, and that pays for the road, and that pays for those people's wages. Then what do those people do? They take that money and they go and buy food from a supermarket. So they pay the supermarket money. The supermarket gives that money to their employees. The employees then pay their taxes, which then pays for them to come back in again and buy more food. So it's just like this. It's just like a circle,
well,
unless you
exactly.
grow food.
It's not like
And and
exactly.
and the thing is, for a country like that, they don't make enough profit, because the money's just going around in a circle. It's just like leaving my hand, going into someone else's hand, and coming back into my hand again. So there's no increase in volume of cash. The cash stays like a plain level. So to increase the amount of money they have, they create war, because war then creates a demand for something that not many people will be able to have. So countries like the United Kingdom, United States, they have a lot of money to invest in war because of other things, that money that they have coming from other wars or other conflicts that they were invested in. So then they're able to spend money in making weapons, which other countries won't be able to, who are under attack, because they're trying to defend themselves, or they might not have the manpower because too many people have died. So this is I don't know, I've gone off subject a little bit here, but this
A
is
little bit.
where this is where I find the whole thing with the United States, when they get involved with any country. You look at the history, they go in and they ruin the place, and then they leave it ruined. We know this from Syria, we know this from Iraq, we know this from Libya, we know this from Afghanistan, we know it from a lot of the old USSR countries. So they're doing the same thing here, and I really feel that. I mean, I know the United States are a big backer of Israel because they helped create the nation that is called Israel, and I think if they keep getting their nose in it, eventually
It's gonna get worse.
someone will retaliate. I'm not even joking. Something will happen that will cause an irreversible effect. And at the end of the day, we're all human beings. This is what I don't understand. We're all human. We're all the same living, breathing people. Irrespective of religion, irrespective of color or creed, we will bleed the same blood as everybody else. So I just do not understand where this shit comes from, to be honest with you. I don't understand how much brainwashing must go into people's heads to make them think, oh, it's okay for me to kill this other person, this other human being who may have a mum, who may have daughters, who may have children, who may have a father. It doesn't matter. I'll just kill them anyway because they've been classed as an enemy. A human enemy? Are you being serious? What do you think, Mr. Ivy? Is
Well,
it
no, I
making
mean,
any sense?
I'm in a similar position as I said, like before stream, before podcast. I'm from Serbia, and we're in constant fighting, and basically it almost came to war over Kosovo with Albania, and then the European Union just came in and said this is going to be a totally separate country.
Mm.
So they're basically just making it good. They say there's going to be a separate country, and if it comes to
Hmm.
war, you do what you want. Whichever country comes to the EU, European Union, they're going to get
Yeah.
the weapons, and they're going to get the money, and they're going to get the funding. That's basically how it goes.
I mean, the thing is, why can't we just move? Why can't we just become the world? You know, why can't we just have no borders? Why do we have to create these separations in land? What does it achieve except to create division between people? That's the way I look at it. You know, I look at the World Cup in the same respect. You know, these teams are all fighting over a fucking football to show who is the better country, but really, we're all the same fucking people. We're all the same. We're not different. It makes no sense. You know, every father's going to want for their kid to be a success. Every mother's going to want for their husbands to be a success. They're going to want their kids to be healthy. They want their kids to be able to eat. Everyone wants the same thing. No one wants anything different. You know, I don't understand why we have to create all these borders. And I'm sure, you know, you being in Serbia, I'm sure there's people in Kosovo who are Serbian who probably have family in Serbia, but they have to cross a border to go and see their relatives, and vice versa. And I'm sure it's the same thing across the world from what's the neighboring country, Bosnia, isn't it? Bosnia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm sure it's the same thing, vice versa. And they've now the UN have come and created this fictional country, which then you know there's people in there that belong to either side of the party. It just I don't
Well,
know.
no.
It just
And
doesn't make
when
any
you
sense.
say everything, every single word in the word, it all comes down to one thing, and that's money. People,
Money.
you
Yeah.
you literally cannot live without money. Money is the thing that makes the world go round.
But then you think about it this way, right? You think about it this way. We have a chosen few who have everything under the sun, and then we have a majority who have hardly anything, right? They have hardly
Yeah.
anything. Yet, why can't we just give it to everybody? Why do we have to have that paper currency that dictates, oh, you're poor, oh, you're rich, oh, you can have, oh, you can't have? There's enough land in the whole world to grow food for everyone to eat. You know, there is
It all
enough.
comes down to humans actually being. We're considered like the smartest things in the world, but we're actually
But we're the dumbest.
yeah.
We're the dumbest.
It all
We're the greediest. We're definitely the greediest. I definitely, you know. I mean, the thing is, I remember reading this scientific paper a little while ago about every natural mammal on the planet creates a natural equilibrium with their surroundings. So if you live in a forest, for example, you'd only cut down a certain amount of trees because you know you need the rest of the trees to regenerate to give more trees. But
yeah.
and nature knows that. So like a lion won't go and kill 100 gazelle. It'll only kill one because it knows it needs the rest for the rest of its lifespan. But we will go and kill 100,000 cows just like that, and we only need 10 of them. It makes no sense.
Well, I mean that's what we're still. I'm personally not even like mad about it. I live in the poorest country in the world. Not
Yeah.
Palestine, not Israel. We're literally the poorest country in the world. And
No, Serbia, yeah.
literally, you really cannot. You're begging to God that you go somewhere outside into Europe, into US. Like there's
No,
90% of people
nothing
that
there.
just let.
Nothing there. Yeah. Nice. It's definitely a sad situation. Anything else you wanted to add to the Palestine US protest before we move on?
Let's move on. I mean, it's kind of close.
It's like a dead end. It's like it's never gonna. I can't see an end in sight. You know, I cannot see it happening. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, for those of you who are watching us live, please be sure to drop your comments down below. I'd love to read them, even if it's controversial. I don't mind. I don't mind controversy because without controversy, we cannot build bridges to better understand each other's differences, so that we can create the human race, not
Yeah, and we
the
also
divisional.
Yeah, we can also
go on.
stop making fake countries so we can divide people.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you're watching us on playback, please be sure to drop your comments. I'd love to read them after the podcast is finished. And please keep them relevant to the topics if that's possible. And let's move on. Next topic of today is PewDiePie and Ali A. That's right, Ali A, the biggest The big something more. This is a topic that's a little bit. It's like we've gone up and now we're going to come back down. Now I'm going to let you down gently, you know, so that you can go back to your daily life, not thinking about turning into terrorists, you know. So basically, Ali A, biggest clickbait YouTuber on Fortnite. Okay, literally clickbait left, right, and center. PewDiePie did a video on him and absolutely raped Ali A. So PewDiePie destroys Ali A in a video about Fortnite clickbait. And and the fact that Fortnite Battle Royale has become such a popular video game has led many popular gaming content creators to use it as a major source of content for their videos and streams. One such person in popular YouTuber Ali A, who transitioned from being one of the biggest names in Call of Duty content creation to becoming a force in the Fortnite section of YouTube gaming. And there is this video to be played with an interview with Richard Lewis, which I'm not going to play because the audio is not actually working on today's podcast. Apologies for that. I'll read it instead. So, however, Ali A has recently been under scrutiny by many for using a tactic known as clickbait, which essentially means that he is using certain titles and thumbnails to mislead people into thinking on his video, clicking on his videos. The latest to roast him is the fellow YouTuber Felix PewDiePie Kelberg, whose 62 million subscribers are the most on the website. You don't say. It's been the most forever, I think. On May 14th, PewDiePie released a video which he analyzes and subsequently makes fun of the various instances of Ali's clickbaiting tactics. So, I mean, there's a few quotes here. The YouTuber continues with PewDiePie starting his spiel about the state of Fortnite content on YouTube. This was some of the quotes from PewDiePie's video. A few weeks ago, I made a video on Fortnite and nothing has changed. Basically, it's still the same. The absolute state of YouTube gaming is very much still... That's right. Okay. And then also putting, I love these thumbnails. They're so good. It's basically the SOI boy. Soy boy equivalent of a thumbnail. And there's another quote. I'll do this one as the last one. Here we have a video called the Superman Challenge. Wow, Superman is in Fortnite? Oh, you best watch 25 minutes to find out. Oh, I guess there isn't. Oh, what? The Flash is in Fortnite. Nope, no, it isn't. The Hulk is in Fortnite. I must watch this 22-minute and 35-second video right now. So that's just an example. You know, Ali A making a Superman video saying Superman's in Fortnite. He's not in there. Same thing with the Hulk. So just to make things a bit lighter, make you able to go back to your normal day, Fortnite and Ali A. Ali A's intro, okay? I'm not even joking. It's cringy as hell.
Stop. I hate that. Literally every single video on my YouTube recommendation. Ali A cringe. Ali A cringe.
That intro, okay, Ali's intro. I feel like using it for my podcast as the intro. It's fucking. I mean, it's something. I remember YouTube of 2007. Okay, that's when that was happening. Okay, people were like, "Oh my god, this is different. This is new." You know, it's not just like block capital letters. It's like some graphical shit happening. But in 2018, just to let you know, Ali, I know you're a big creator, much bigger than me, and I'm a nobody. I know that. But listen, dude. Okay. There's at some point in your life you're gonna realize you're a retard. This is one of those times. This is the time to make that change. Okay. I know the 10-year-old fans, the 9-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, they're sucking you off like there's no tomorrow. But dude, okay, it's one day you're going to be called a pedophile because you kept having that fucking intro in every single video, okay? And stop clickbaiting, okay? It's terrible. Why can't YouTubers just make real like the content of their videos is exactly what's in the video? It's not full of controversy, okay?
Well, not everyone PS4 army, so
I mean, everyone knows I do not clickbait anything. I put what's in the thumbnail is what's in the video. You're not gonna find anything different, And I think probably this is why I suffer with views, because I should probably put, oh my god, I found a vagina in Fortnite or something stupid, and then people will be like, oh, all these fucking 1-year-olds, or maybe children that are still inside their mother's wombs will be like grabbing hold of the PS4 controller, going, I gotta watch this fucking video. But Ivy, I mean, Ali with the frigging clickbait. I mean, what the hell, dude? How do we stop this cancerous YouTuber?
Well, before Ali, there was also a YouTuber. Shout out to Fernando, who is no more. The guy, literally every single video was clickbait about GTA 6. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. He's the guy who he used the mod graphic on GTA 5 to call it GTA 6. I remember.
Exactly. and then one day they just,
oh my god,
this channel's gone. No more money. No more. YouTube just like, fuck off, nigga. Like,
oh my god, I'm telling you what. These clickbait. But anyway, Ali, how are we gonna stop this cringe-filled man fest?
first of all, we need to kill his intro. Just stop. Kill that thing. But burn
You know
it.
what? Even people are click. The problem is, they say if you don't want anything going viral, if you don't want people to talk about something, don't talk about that thing, right? That's what they say. But you can't help to talk about it. You can't help to make a video about his fucking intro because it's so bad. But yeah, he's putting it out every week on week, day after day. He's chucking those intros in there with that stupid "Hi everyone, my name's Ali A, and today we're gonna play Fortnite." And then it's like dun 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 dun.
It's
Deafening.
It's cancer. It's only one way to.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying, how can we stop him, dude? How can we stop him?
I mean, we can't do anything. We're not YouTube. We can't make a channel. I mean, we are making a channel,
We're
but
not big enough.
yeah,
I want to make a
whatever.
video. I want it to go viral. Okay, I want Ali to see that video. Brian Lloyd says he basically using fans of Fortnite to earn game money. He'll lie to get people to watch his videos, and by the time you realize he lied to you, he's already ran several ads on the video and benefit. T4, I'm sure you lied on one of your streams, GTA 6. I believe you called your GTA 5 stream. I didn't, okay? I was just talking about GTA 6 in the fucking live stream. Get over it. Clickbaiting people is not a thing to look up to. It shows they will sink to certain measures. I think he means levels to get money. It shows greed and deceptive personalities. But the thing is, right, if you want to grow on a platform, if you want people to talk about you, like if I want to get big, that's the only way. It seems that is the only way to grow, to get these 10-year-old fans, to religiously turn up and buy your merch and subscribe to the channel. I mean, I can't even scrape past 1,770 subscribers. We're there right now, I know that, but I'm telling you, come tomorrow, we'll be back at 1,764 or something, or 150. I don't know, okay? The world of the truth. They say the truth will set you free, but it doesn't, okay? Clickbait seems to be the only way. What do you think, Ivy? Is it the only way? And what do you think about what Brian was saying?
Well, I mean, first of all, every single video, not just LA, but some big YouTubers like, oh my god, look at this, and then just cut 15 minutes of him just talking about some shit. Then he gets into the gameplay. Stop. Get the fuck out. And then, like, if every YouTuber was like this, it'd be 15 seconds. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Like, dude.
I mean, even me, I've had. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize, if you watch some of my older videos, you'll see I don't really do much of an intro as such. But like now, it's become like religious that I have to do that intro, because otherwise the sponsors don't pay me any money, because YouTube's taking away my monetization. So the sponsors won't pay me my fee, and then I've tried to do something to include all the people who are joining, who are first on the stream, and if I don't do that, like I feel like I'm doing an injustice. Like everyone else is doing it, so I'm like, I need to kind of do this because otherwise, otherwise,
Otherwise, I'm dead. I'm
people.
dead in the water.
Yeah, I might as well just shut down the studio and just go work like a normal job. I might as well stack shelves because everything else has failed. So it's just it's a really difficult position to be in. It forces you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. I mean, it's a bad. It's definitely cancerous. It's definitely bad. Let me know what you guys think. If you're watching us live, if you're watching us on playback, let me know what you think about this particular topic. Ivy, is there anything else you wanted to add to Allier and his clickbaiting cancerous ways?
Stop the fucking intros! God damn.
Right, last topic, everyone. We made it to the last topic. I have only got 5 minutes to cover this, but I'm sure we'll get through it. Meghan Markle's dad. This was from the Sunday Express. Meghan Markle's dad, who is Thomas Markle, and what were the staged photos? So basically, Meghan Markle's dad. I mean, this is the bizarre thing that I don't understand with this particular story. Is Meghan Markle? There is no reason. Okay, there is no reason why her dad needs to do what he did. She's a movie star, okay? She's made money, a lot of it. There is no reason why her dad would need to do this. But let's move that to one side. If you guys don't know, Meghan Markle has got a stepsister. She's a fucking weirdo, and she's been trying to make money from her in any way, means any. They don't even talk. They've never spoken yet. This woman is just like non-stop word vomit about her stepsister that she doesn't actually know but makes up a lot of shit about. But anyway, the news goes like this. Meghan Markle's estranged father, Thomas Markle, will supposedly not be attending the royal wedding, which we know now that was definitely true. This weekend, not this weekend, it was ages ago, after suffering a heart attack. Was it a heart attack or was it a planned attack from the royal family? I don't know. Thomas has been lambasted in the press after it emerged. He had worked with a paparazzi on a series of photographs to spin his relationship with Meghan in a positive light. Who is Thomas Markle? Now, I would play this video for you guys, but unfortunately, audio, some reason, isn't working today, so I'll read it to you instead. Well, the Royal Wedding 2018 just days away, one of the most crucial people in the whole ceremony is now rumoured not to attend. Thomas Markle's 73 father, the royal bride Meghan, has told American website TMZ that he will no longer be attending the wedding. Mr. Markle was sent to give his daughter away and walk her down the aisle at this year's biggest event, but reports have emerged that he suffered a heart attack 6 days ago. The father of the bride to be is currently embroiled in a controversy surrounding his involvement in fake pictures with his daughter in order to spin press excitement in his favor, like this one, for example, that picture there. And also there is another picture a bit further down. Meghan says Samantha Grant, who that's my time coming up. Samantha Grant, who doesn't contact Meghan Markle anymore, said she had suggested their father pose for positive photographs for the benefit of the royal family. Samantha Grant, by the way, is Meghan's stepsister. This woman is the most weirdest woman you'll ever see in your life. She's so bizarre. It did come out. Kensington Palace has previously issued warnings to the media not to publish pictures of Mr. Markle and Mrs. Markle's mother, Doria Rangland, taken under circumstances of harassment, insisting they had no wish to take part in any personal publicity. But a series of photographs printed in the tabloid press aroused suspicion after showing Mr. Markle exercising in public, reading a book called Images of Britain, being measured for a suit, and looking up pictures of his daughter in an internet cafe. Like he'd need to use an internet cafe, everybody. But those were the controversies around this particular incident with Meghan Markle's dad. Um, what's your takeaway on this story, Ivy? I mean, it was I personally, I mean, obviously the weddings happen now and everything, but I found it a very bizarre event. What did you think?
I mean, it's just you can literally just call it messed up. So from what I think about it, he didn't want to attend the wedding. That was for sure. But did he get a heart attack, or was it like planned? Did he sketch it himself, or
I mean, they never got down to the bottom of how Diana died anyway. So, and the royal family, I mean, you imagine, okay, you become a famous person, okay, and you don't want your picture taken. You couldn't really do anything to stop it from happening. You got people like
overall?
obviously Justin Bieber. You got big superstars,
Yeah.
You got people like Kanye West. Kim Kardashian, who's a fake celebrity, but Kim Kardashian. They
Oh,
they live. I mean, Kanye West hates the paparazzi. So does Justin Bieber. They try their best to
avoid them.
to yeah. But the thing is, the royal family can actually issue lawsuits against people who take pictures of them without their consent. I mean, that is insane power. Okay, that is insane. I mean, they talk about freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
Freedom of life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they say in a public place, anything done in a public place is public property, but not when it comes to royal family. It's completely different. And the controversy for me around this whole thing, I mean, the wedding was really bizarre. I didn't understand the dress that she was wearing. I didn't understand the speech that the priest gave either. It was very bizarre, a very, very bizarre speech. And
Are
I mean,
they
he was
like
American
forced to
priest.
read those speeches?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. A wizard was talking. It was like all they needed was like a skull, like a cauldron in front of him, and he could have conjured up Satan from there. I don't know, but
Those
it was
things
very,
are
very
old.
weird.
Those things like 1,000 years old. Why are you still using the same shit? Change it up a little bit.
You know what I mean. And not only that, I mean the even the day itself. I found like all of these things that were happening with her. I mean, I got the feeling that they told the dad that he cannot come to the wedding for whatever reason. I think that there was some background thing that went on to say that there's been a lot of stuff that's come out about this wedding anyway, and I'm planning to make a video about it as well. So I don't want to talk too much about it here, but
Well, no, I
um,
mean that's just disgraceful to your family. I mean, your parents just worked so hard to get you where you are in life, and you're
yeah.
suddenly getting married to some big guy, and you're like, no, you're not coming to my wedding. That's
I
just
mean, you're getting married to a prince,
that's for
and you're not going to let your dad give you away. I mean, what the fuck is that?
I think it's nuts. And vice
And
versa, like
you have your father-in-law walk you down the aisle. What the hell, dude? What is that?
I mean that's dumb.
That
And
is
another thing from like a parent standpoint, when if he didn't want to come to a wedding by his like own, that's also
mm.
like a douchebag thing to do because if my child, which I don't have, would get would
Maybe
get,
he does.
uh,
We don't know.
would get married to royalty, if I was in a coma, I'd figure a way to go to the wedding because that's just you worked so hard to get your child a life,
Yep.
and now you're
Yep.
there. She's moved
I
on.
don't know. For me, it's a very, very bizarre situation. For those of you who are watching us live, for those of you who are watching us on playback, please be sure to drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Was the wedding a weird wedding? Did you get the same kind of vibe that I got, that maybe Ivy got, or do you think it was perfectly normal? What do you think about this controversy with the photographs that happened with Meghan Markle's dad? Do you think they were? Do you think the heart attack was a stage thing? Was it a way to kind of push him away? I mean, we know what happened when Kate gave birth. to the baby, and the nurse that answered the phone to the media and accidentally gave away some information, she winded up committing suicide somehow. So there's a lot of weird shit that goes on that people don't really pay attention to. It doesn't get enough attention in the media. It kind of gets brought up and then quickly gets put to one side.
It's England. It's not that weird there. Let's be honest.
It's true. I mean, it is a weird country. I'm not gonna lie. There is some weird shit that goes on here that doesn't make sense to anybody. But yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know if you're watching us live. Let us know if you're watching us on playback.
Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button as well.
With the banging music in the background. Anything else you want to add, Ivy, to this particular topic before we end today's podcast?
Well, I mean, I haven't really been into it that much. I just heard that the winning was shit and the heart attack was staged, and that's basically it. Not that much.
Brian Lloyd puts in the chat just as the last ending. I'm sure he had a heart attack, but was photographed with fast food shortly after. Interesting.
McDonald's. Hashtag McDonald's saves lives.
Yeah. Hashtag McDonald's saves lives. I might put that on Instagram later on. That'd be quite hilarious. Right. Anyway, that's it. That's at the end of today's podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, big shout out goes out to Ivy for joining us over as a guest on today's podcast. Thank you very much, Ivy.
Pleasure to be here, man.
Hopefully we'll be back again on Friday with the podcast, and we would have caught up by then, obviously, on the weeks that we've missed. So be sure to join us on this Friday's podcast. The lineup for you guys this Friday will be the Fairfield 10 abuse. The children, I don't know if you've heard about this, but this was quite controversial. We also had the copyright scandal with Collab and Alinity. And also, what did you hear? Yanni or Laurel? Also, we had Michigan State University, $511 million. So this is to do with something very controversial. Join us for Friday's podcast if you want to get involved with the conversation. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show, please drop it down in the Discord chat. All you got to do to get onto the Discord chat is just look for T4 Army Chat on discord.com, and you'll be able to get involved. If you want to be one of the guests, if you want to be part of the lineup, just let me know in that chat. Also, you can leave it in the YouTube comments or in the Twitch comments. I'm sure I'll be able to read it at some point. But the best place to find me is on Discord, or you can follow me on Twitter and drop your comments there, and I'll be sure to read them over that way as well. That's it. Thank you very much to everybody for joining us. Those of you who watch us over at youtube.com live, those of you who watch us over at twitch.tv, big shout out to all of you guys. Also, big shout out to the sponsors. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. We got the infamous Sins Gaming, we got Razer.com, and obviously not forgetting CD Keys. If you want to grab Cruise 2, be sure to go check out CD Keys or G2A.com because they have it there on an infamous price from your boy T4. Also, obviously, G2A sponsors us over at twitch.tv. And not forgetting G4G and Streamlabs, keeping it live for your boy T4 and those goddamn Slickline donations. Last donator was obviously Brian Lloyd with an amazing $5. Thank you very much, Brian Lloyd. And not forgetting, last but not least, we got the T4 Army merch. Go check out the merch store, grab something awesome, look cool for the summertime, and cause some controversy as people try to pronounce what name is printed on the shirt. But we'll be back on Friday as always. But until then, guys, as always, stay safe, stay awesome, and peace.